Well, it's that time of year again. Time to cozy down with butternut squash soup and pumpkin pie, pumpkin seeds, and everything pumpkin that you can think of. But how about doing something with your children that involves giving them a little piece of decorating the house, like this pumpkin house? Now, truthfully, I've never been one for kid crafts. You know, they go to church and they come back with these macaroni necklaces and things like that. Now, I'm more into things that are beautiful and something they can incorporate their own little personality into the home, something we'd want to display. So I gathered some materials from my local Michael's store or Hobby Lobby, foam pumpkin, and I got out my hot glue gun and a heat knife, which will cut through this foam pumpkin pretty easily. Got some moss and some little creatures. We have a fairy house outside in the garden during the summer, but I thought it would be fun to bring in a little fairy for the fall. So here I am just marking with a permanent marker, tracing the candle, and I put on a timer, like it's starting at 5 o'clock when the sun starts to go down, and every night have this little pumpkin house light up, and it looks like a little mouse has made its home in the pumpkin. It's really cute. I did this with my children, just being careful with the knife. It is sharp. Depending on your children's ages, this might be something that mom or dad do, and have them help you with the gluing on of the moss and setting up the pumpkin. But this part I just cut away. It does look like I'm stabbing it, but it really wasn't that hard. I just wanted to make sure that I was able to cut every section, and I didn't want to pull the knife because I didn't want to cut off my thumb. And then I used the toothpick thing to get these little windows, and I wanted to make one for an upstairs and one for the downstairs to really mimic a home. I had the children take 2 cinnamon sticks that I purchased. I just broke it in half, and I found these little miniature popsicle sticks at Walmart, but I don't know, you could use the toothpicks to make it a little smaller. This was a little heavy and weighty. It looks more like steps to me, but I think maybe I would have gone back and used the toothpicks that I used for the windows, which you'll see in a little bit. So use whatever you want. So after I cut out both of the windows, we're going to put the little toothpicks into the window to create the little grates in the windows. And don't worry about having them be able to fit inside and point in there, because you can hot glue it and anything's going to be covered with moss after. So this one actually fit into, but this other one that I did on the other window, they would not fit into. I must have cut it a little smaller. So no problem, I just glued it, and then the moss will cover it. It's really a forgiving project, super easy to do. This glue gun that I purchased had a really fine tip, which I wasn't used to using. The other glue guns that I have used in the past have been thicker. So this one, I was kind of nervous that it would dry out before I could get enough on there to make it stick. So if you have one that has a little thicker glue, that would have been a lot easier. But this was really cool. We just took something that we had out in the garden, these little gnome houses, and I actually used this on my son's birthday cake that he had when we did the Shire. So I put it in the pumpkin. So this has been had multiple uses. You can get this at any craft store on Amazon, any kind of doorway. Because we got a round stout pumpkin, I wanted to get a round door. You could get the oval pumpkins, you can get oval doors. There's so many things. I believe that I got the doorway on Amazon because I've had it for a while. But see here, any holes, if we got it too big, we just stuffed with moss. So it's really forgiving. Once the doorway is complete, you just move on to each of the windows and see how the toothpicks are, extended over. The moss is going to cover it right up. You do this for both sides, and that's it. You just insert the candle at the bottom, set it to timer at the right time that you want, and then we just decorated with the little mice that we found, or you can do pine cones. I had some cotton because we live in the South. So I figured, this little mouse built its house in the cotton field. So just use your imagination to create a little house as if you were a mouse and what they would gather to make it feel like home. And I love it because we put it on the shelf here, and it's its own little resident. So we brought our fairy houses in for the winter, and you can see that they're home. I can imagine them inside busy baking pumpkin pies or whatever, but it was sweet. It's something that the kids were a part of, and they added to the decoration, which I think is really important. They feel like they have a part of making our house a home. So I hope that you enjoyed that project, and if you did, leave a comment and let me know how it went, or even include a picture. And remember, in whatever you do, whether you eat, play, or love, may it always be seasoned with joy.